Want recording, sorry. Recording is being paused.
This is programs paused
And we-
right now.
I just paused. But she didn't
Yeah.
say that we're pausing it. It said pause.
Right, Joe was here.
like it's
Frank was
recording
here,
now.
Everyone was happy.
Meeting to order at 7:02. And the first item is to review the agenda and make any adjustments. And I do have some additional things I want to just mention and discuss. And I thought since we can't start your hearing till 7:20, that perhaps there'll be time between speaking to Heather about the continuance of the hearing and the public hearing at 7:20. I might be able to get some of those things in.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have some other discussions after that. That's what I have. Anybody else have anything else?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay, so 7:05, I think we can go ahead and call, speak to Heather. You want to take yourself off of mute, Heather, and speak to us?
Yes, so I just wanted to give it an update, which I emailed to you, the same update. That the probate court ordered the parties to mediation. And we have mediation scheduled for May 29th. So we definitely won't have any change before May 29th. So if we could continue it to after that, that would be good.
You want to do June or do you want to wait till July?
If we can continue the approach we've done, and go till June, if we are able to have a result of mediation, then that might be, not too early. But if it is too early, then I could ask to continue it again. Would that work?
Yes,
The
yeah,
14th.
that does work. So it's the 14th
Yeah.
of June.
Yes.
So I think officially I'm supposed to open this hearing, Karen?
Yes, you have to wait till 7:05. Right, is it, or is it?
It's 7:00.
It's 7:03.
Sorry. Okay, so that's fine with us. It's June 14th. And we'll open the meeting, we'll make a motion and we'll close the meeting.
Okay. I don't think it's, wait,
The-
June 14th is a Saturday.
Oh,
No, it's May
sorry.
14th.
no, she wants
Oh,
June.
June, I'm so sorry.
I was looking, looks like June, May.
June 11th, I think it is. That's the second Wednesday.
Yeah, June 11th is the second Wednesday.
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you for that correction.
So if we do come to a result in the mediation, we might be able to wrap things up. But if not, and I can let you know in between. I can let Karen know in between. But if not, then I'll do what I'm doing right now and just show up and ask to continue it again.
all right. All right, that works good. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Wish for resolution.
Yes. Thank you. I'm gonna go now. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me when it's 7:05.
We're almost there.
You know what?
7:04.
7:04 and counting. Continuance right here. Do we put anything on it?
Yeah, I do have to keep
Okay.
talking away.
Seven oh five. Does it say 7:05 yet?
That's a long minute.
It really is a
Long
long.
All right,
minute.
all right, we're there, we're there.
Okay, I'm gonna call the continuance hearing ZPA 2024-27 State Robert Barish, major subdivision, to order. And we heard from Heather Devine, the state's representative, that the court has ordered mediation for May 29th. And they are asking to reschedule the continuance to June 11th, 2025.
So do we need to move to the continuance? Yeah, okay, so I'll move to continue the hearing to June 11th,
I second.
And all in favor?
all right?
Yeah,
Are we thinking 7:05 again?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to name the time, 7:05, yeah, great. So since we've got a few, so I'm gonna close that hearing at 7:05, 7:06. That was a fast
That was-
Is
that
that
one
the
went fast.
fastest one you've ever done?
Say what?
Is that the fastest you've ever done one?
I don't know, we have continued before, but, I don't know.
Okay.
We had all the talking before we actually opened it, but, no, that's
Yeah.
fine.
So I just, for all of us to think ahead, the May 14th, next month, we do have Frank Mitchell's PUD that we're gonna have a hearing at
Yes.
May 14th.
No, we're not doing a hearing. You
Excuse
just-
me, it's a
It's just,
a,
it's just for information.
okay,
only.
excuse me,
You
it's
just-
not a hearing, it's
yeah,
informational.
Just
That's
to
it.
talk about it.
So we're having that on May 14th. I just wanted to bring that to folks' attention. And,
And that's about what?
that Frank Mitchell's is
Oh.
interested in having a PUD on his property on
Yeah.
Lower Road? Where was that? Anyways, I have it in my notes,
She's on. Roller, yeah.
Lower Road, so he's coming to talk about that.
He's the one that has all the, he has stone and stuff.
Stone.
Yeah.
All right, so, the other thing was, everybody knows, but I just like for the record in the minutes, say that the DRB and the Plainfield Planning Commission has scheduled an annual joint meeting, which is something that's recommended in our regulations, right?
Yes.
So we finally scheduled one, and I believe that's April 17th, let me just.
Yeah.
April 17th at 7 PM. So I just want that to go on the record, so people know that we are doing that. Great. And then I also thought, well, I would like to just bring up the discussion of the conflict of interest form that, and information that I had sent the board, that I was feeling that since the village expansion project has, there were questions being raised of like, what is a conflict of interest? And I understood it to be a fiduciary interest primarily, but then when you read the regs, there was also this like personal interest. So I asked the lawyer, the Vermont League of Cities and Town lawyer about that, and they said that, really it is primarily if you have a financial interest, or if maybe somebody in your family has a financial interest, then that's a conflict of interest. And it doesn't preclude you from being on a board. It does encourage you to recuse yourself of decisions. So I'm just and that it's important that board members write a letter to the select board saying if they have a conflict of interest. So the lawyer said that your opinion, whether you support or don't support a project, is not a conflict of interest. Your opinion about something, and the way we all participated, like going to the design charrette, or even serving on the committee, if some of us, though we didn't, or like voting at town meeting for the
Yep.
for the reserve fund, none of that is considered conflict of interest. So my question is, do you feel like it's important that we actually write a letter to the select board saying we don't have any conflict of interest for?
My only question would be, with Jesse, who's not here, because they are abutters to the land, and
Right.
he's the only one that I think might have a direct conflict there, but I don't know if that rises to the level of a conflict of interest or not being.
Probably not, I mean, because, he's not selling the property. I mean, if he was
Right.
selling the property to them, then I would think that he would
Yeah,
have a fiscal interest in it.
yeah, unless he's arguing that it's gonna lower his property value or something like that, which I don't think he is, but, that would be my only question.
All right,
He
well,
was on the committee too.
I was wondering, he didn't say if he was or
Yeah,
not.
no.
So I was thinking Jesse would be the one person who might want
Mhm.
to write a letter to the select board and say he has no conflict of interest, no fiduciary or conflict of interest.
I would agree with that.
Okay, so I could we can discuss that. I'll email him
Mhm.
and let him know that. And then the other thing concerning, we will hear from Sandra and or the new town committee at 7:40. And I think we can wait, but there's the proposal that we set a special meeting May 7th, and I'm just wondering if we want to do that now while we have this time to set a special meeting. We could always cancel it, but it's something that it's advised that we do. We can do it. I can do it, or the board can agree to do it. So, I propose that we set a special meeting on May 7th to perhaps have a hearing for the village expansion project.
Do we know that she has
Oh.
had any conversation? Anything has happened with the village committee other than they met?
I know that they're coming. I spoke to one of the committee members and they've met and they know that that's what I know. But,
Why can't we just do it on the 14th?
well, that's part of today's discussion, so we
Okay.
can wait if you'd like.
Okay,
Okay, why don't we wait? Because we could always do it then when we have the discussion. The reason we might need to do it was, that's the other thing we have, is the zoning regs. Okay, so, part of our meeting with the planning commission is that our subdivision regulations with a final plat, the way it's written with the final plat hearing being appealable and the sketch plan review, not the sketch plan review, but the preliminary plat being, having a 30-day appeal period, and then the final plat, which is supposed to just be what we agreed upon at the final plan and has another double appeal period, doesn't make sense. It's,
this was in her email a while ago. Okay.
yeah, and so that's part, so it may not mean that we don't need to do it if we as a board can say, choose to say those regs, we're gonna, that's what, I think we could talk to Will about it. Because there is language, there's action we can take as a board to say these rules are antiquated. They're not legally they're not legally functioning. I don't have the right language.
Mhm.
And so that we can just, we don't need a double appeal period.
Mhm.
Because it doesn't make sense that if, and the language also says that what is submitted at the sketch plan review can't change between the preliminary. And the reason we
Unless it's
have,
recommended by the DRB.
right,
Hmm.
okay, right, unless it does say unless it's recommended by the DRB,
Mhm.
okay.
And any recommendations by the DRB.
Well, because that's why I think we have a sketch plan. So that we can make recommendations.
That makes
So I
sense.
think that warrants a discussion with Sandra at 7:40. And then we could, and because part of her thinking was to speed things along, as if we had the hearing on the 7th, then the decision could be written on our 14th meeting, for our 14th meeting, and then there would be the 30-day appeal period, which would go into June.
Oh,
And then if it was appealed, then still, everything would just be moving along a little quicker. That was the reason.
But my question is the village expansion current committee going to present the same sketch plan?
We'll find out, but my understanding is that it's not,
the same sketch plan.
it's not, you
No,
know that, if it's not. I think,
then you
yeah,
have
I
to-
think we'll hear about that tonight.
But it would be worthwhile. It wouldn't be enough time between the 7th and the 14th, so. Warned.
Unless we warned it before. That's why we need to make that decision tonight, so it can be warned.
Well, I'm saying like if the sketch plan is significantly different, you're gonna have to have a sketch plan review.
And that's what the 7th would be, Mary.
okay.
Okay.
And then the
right.
preliminary would be the 14th.
So but we'd have to warn the preliminary. before we even had the sketch plan.
which is
because-
okay.
I'm just saying, like.
We would warn both at the
we
same
don't have to
time.
warn the sketch.
All right, but we
warn-
would warn the 14th then,
Yes.
if we had to redo the sketch on the 7th. So those are the kind of juggling of keeping the process moving forward, and we will hear from Sandra and the committee whether there's significant changes. And when I asked Sandra about
That's why I was
that,
Walking over.
the
there.
significant changes would mean like moving roads and curb cuts and things like that, and all of that's defined by the state. The only thing that could change would be the number of lots.
Okay,
So the overall design would not change. Cause the state had a lot to do with how those roads were placed
okay.
and the accesses. So those were. Is it 7:20? We used up almost,
Why don't we
15
do
minutes?
the minutes?
Yeah, well, I mean, did we come to a decision there on the 7th? I mean, I think, I know I'm available, but I don't know if we have to like decide on that tonight, or we'll wait for more information from them and just like, if we all know we can be available on the 7th, then we can do that by email.
well, I think we'll be able to know tonight
Okay,
whether we can when we talk to them,
okay.
whether we need it to be a sketch plan.
Oh, yeah, I
on
forgot
the
that that was
7th.
on the agenda here.
Yeah.
Okay.
No worries, that you've had too many meetings today.
Yeah, well, apparently I'm being a coach for,
Or,
coach pitch for Plainfield Marshfield.
oh yeah,
Yeah, so,
what age group?
I
that the little
think it's,
people?
yeah, it's up to like 3rd grade or maybe 4th grade. I think.
That's where the ball's on the little
No,
stand?
it's T-ball, so this
Okay.
is a step up from that. Sorry, this is a little side agenda here to
Wait.
fill some time.
Do the minutes and.
Oh,
decision.
yes, okay, then, let's, I read the minutes, thank you, Mary, they were great. Anybody want to, I can make a motion to adopt the meeting minutes of March 12th.
It's second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. And we also have the decision, which
Yes,
you wrote, thank you very much, and I brought with me.
yes, thanks to Karen for providing the previous decision. That was helpful.
Okay, so anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And I'll second
All
it.
right,
All in favor?
all right.
All right, so I will sign these decisions this 9th day. I figure when I'm dead and gone, my name is gonna be on 12, 15 years of records, you know?
You're famous.
They'll be able to bring
My
you back from
signature.
DNA on the papers.
Can you hand that back towards me if you signed it?
I
Thank you.
did, and dated it. All right, we got all our business done that we could get done.
2
And-
minutes.
You're the only person here.
Well, there's,
We've got a number of people that have joined.
Oh, good.
I need to know who Megan, her keeps going, her phone keeps leaving and coming back. and
Well, I'm gonna have to get them all to
everybody-
swear in,
But this
so.
time, let's make sure we get everybody's
I missed a few people last time.
name. No, we eventually did, but I think it'd be easier to do it in the front end.
Look,
instead
yeah,
of the end.
I think I was a little discombobulated last, two meetings ago. I actually forgot to affirm people.
All right, so you need to know Megan's iPhone,
Yeah.
that name. Whoever's calling in on Megan's iPhone.
Hi.
Yeah,
Hi, this is Megan Kreis, Kreis.
Hi,
thank you.
Hi.
And
I taught
then,
her how to sew.
okay, and maybe we could just, then you got all the other ones, Bram's note taker, what's that? Is that his
That's just
AI?
AI thing, yeah.
I will tell you that reading those notes is impossible.
The
Alright.
AI notes?
Yes, because it doesn't, there's no way to know who was talking,
Oh, really?
and
Yeah.
it's just, the select board, a phrase, and then a select board, another phrase. They're not complete sentences or anything. It's very confusing.
Not very intelligent.
No,
And that's why we probably should ask them to say their name. Even though we know that it's.
When they speak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes, excellent idea.
All right, it's 7:20.
7:20, wonderful. I will call this public hearing, ZPA 2025-0-06 Lloyd Farnham and Devonia LLC. Devonia boundary line adjustment. So here we are. Thank you, everybody, for coming. The first thing I am gonna do is affirm. So if everybody who's here for the hearing would please take yourself off mute and show us your face and hold up your right hand, and you too. And affirm that I hereby affirm that the evidence I give in the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury. Yeah, I do? Yeah, I see some nodding and some hand with, okay. Thank you, another nod, another nod. Okay, great, thank you. So here we are. Karen has it on, so I'm gonna let Karen explain to us what we are doing here today.
We are doing a boundary line adjustment between Lloyd Farnham and the Devion LLC. And if you remember, maybe probably only Janice read Dallas. So basically, what was it, how many acres? I don't have the thing in front of me.
It's 9 point something.
Yeah, acres from the top lot to Devion to Lloyd, and I think the lot number is on that.
This map? What do you want to say?
You're gonna have to speak up, Lloyd, so.
Just adding 9 acres of woods to my woods. For piece of property.
Okay,
Is this the hemp farming
It is.
former hemp farming?
Yes.
Okay.
so this 8.9.58 acres is the boundary line change right here, right? You want to look at this?
So this is
Yes.
the new one.
Mhm.
And this was the lot that was before, lot 8, which is now going from 28 acres to 19.
Okay, you see that? So it was here and it's going there. It was here, it's going there. Well, that's pretty simple. And the reason we have to hear this is because it's more than 5 acres?
Yeah.
And then you said that there were some conditions we needed to look at? No conditions?
I mean, I was just gonna, what it says for boundary line.
We should look at what it what we need to do under boundary line adjustments?
It says in a kind of a silly way, but the boundary line adjustment may be approved by the zoning administrator or the development review board, depending on the scope of the adjustment. In either case, the following conditions must apply for the boundary line adjustment. A, the total numbers of parcels resulting from the transaction will not be greater than the number of parcels that existed prior to the proposed boundary line.
So there's no change there. Okay, great.
It will not make a complying lot non-conforming, and it will not increase the non-conformance of any existing lot.
Looks like that's true.
There's nothing wrong. And plat map showing the location of the new boundaries must be filed in accordance with the Vermont statutes, which basically means that after the decision is made, there's 180 days that the plat has to be filed, and it also will need to be signed by the chair of the DRB.
The plat test, so I have to go in and sign it.
Yeah.
Or you could bring it in to a meeting,
But it's the Mylar that you're gonna have to.
sign, right?
Sign, yes, it's the Mylar.
So it's gonna look just like this. There's nothing we need to change. It has all the things that are needed for a final plat. Looks like to me. All right,
We have another iPhone.
Yeah, what is that? Who is that?
person with the, it just says iPhone, do you want to participate in the hearing? You're here. Hi.
No, thanks. I'm just watching.
Who
Okay.
are you?
Matt Lagner. I'm one of Lloyd's neighbors.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Matt. All right, any other issues on this boundary line adjustment? Hearing none, I will take a motion.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
The motion is carried unanimously.
I'll be looking forward to the next time, you know, that.
All right, then, we're done with you. I'll, end the hearing at 5:25, 5-minute
Seven
hearing,
twenty-five.
7:25.
Yeah, I mean, do you have any questions
Bye,
about
bye.
next steps, or you're all set?
I'm all set.
Yeah?
Have a good evening.
Well, everything is going so fast today.
I know, we gave
Now what are we
ourselves
gonna
a lot
do?
of extra time.
Well, usually, but there's a very nice caveat at the bottom of it that says times are,
Yes, but the people aren't here.
well, I think of. I'm just saying, like, there is a thing that says this is just an estimate.
Change of use and historic. Right. Oh, we already did that.
Yeah, you've done everything.
Yeah.
We've done everything. Oh, wow, maybe we should go get some tea. We could talk about the weather. I was wondering when it's gonna warm up. Anybody look at the weather map?
It'll be warmer tomorrow.
Yeah, right, is it gonna be up to 50?
I don't know, if it's gonna be that warm. Don't get too crazy.
Oh.
We're in the forties tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, didn't we have some really nice
You're right.
weather and then it kind of
40.
went down the.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have 40s, it looks like, all the way through the weekend, and then maybe some 50s next week.
And I'm trying to pull up some bird up, but
Hmm.
it's not all agreeing to let it go.
Is the ground still frozen at all?
Well, some of them would come up and some wouldn't.
Is it green, you mean? Green,
No, I'm just talking about like old.
old stalks?
Oh.
Stuff.
They never wanna let go.
No, they
You have to
don't.
go out there with the sawzall.
I was hoping,
You get
I
with the
wanted to
roofs.
clean up the back lawn of where I am now.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I'm across from, Outer Spice and the gray.
Ah,
Apartment building.
Oh, okay.
Where my mother grew up.
Oh. Is that why you're there?
No, my sister owned it as an apartment building and my son bought it so that all of us could live
Oh,
in the same home. Our Jacob, our son, and
yes.
Tracy and I, and there's 3 apartments, so.
Oh. That's handy.
So I had a question, like, does the town have any authority to do anything about places that are falling down that nobody's doing anything about? Or should that be it, not during the meeting call? I was just, I mean, I'm just curious, I'm not trying to talk about a specific thing, I might have one in mind, but
Well, no, there's several, there's the 2 houses that are right there on Route 2.
yeah,
And, I don't, I mean, the only time that we've ever, done something has to do with the Bean Road. and
Mhm.
with that, but I don't know, I mean, I'm really sad to see Bill the Barber's house go. That's the yellow one.
Oh my God, I've just watched it deteriorate and deteriorate in the back of the barn's falling in. Yep, mm-hmm. And even, William Happel's house is still standing. I still think he heats it too. I don't know, but he passed,
He did?
years ago.
What?
His wife wrote me when he died. It was years ago, before COVID. Yep.
He was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, my father was speaking about how that one of the houses along the stretch of Route 2 really deteriorated.
yeah,
Especially right there where we're talking over on the riverside.
mhm.
I met the people who bought, the White House that for so long we all thought was gonna fall into the.
Yeah, the one that has like the planters. and
Yeah,
stuff like that, yeah.
they came from somewhere else and they bought it and they've been fixing it up. And he said, actually, inside's really nice and I said, I said, people were concerned that they couldn't get insurance for a loan and they're like, well, we did.
I
So
keep thinking it's gonna fall over the,
I think
Yeah.
that there must have been a lot of work done on it over the years.
I don't know, when for a few years, used to be a house, but where the guy piles his wood to cut for across it, used to be a house there.
That would,
I lived there when I was a little girl.
you did, Louis told me that was his house. And yeah, and I think that this town did take it down because it was falling down. Well, I don't know what Louis said, it was his house and they took it down and, he lost his home. So that's Louis' story. I don't know the detail. Like, was it really, did he own it or did he rent it I think he said it was his house and it must have been condemned. So maybe if a building can be condemned, then it can be torn down. Maybe it'd be more of a state law.
Yeah.
I don't know if this town has the authority to do that.
Would it be a state law? Like a dangerous building or something, or?
I don't know. I know that places like Barry had to enact some ordinance
Hmm.
to be able to do that.
Condemn
Yeah.
buildings.
Yeah, I wonder if like a fire marshal or something has the authority to.
Oh, definitely. Well, they have the right to say it, deny
Can't live in it,
occupancy.
yeah.
Well, actually, residential is different than commercial. I don't know what they have
Hmm.
for residents. I think residents are maybe health officers.
Hmm.
Yeah. And somebody still owns the property, is probably still paying taxes on the property.
Again,
I wonder if somebody's still paying taxes on the property for those houses.
there was this conversation on Plainfield People about those buildings, and somebody said Alan Goldman owns them.
Mhm.
And yeah, and he's just let it. Never mind.
He bought those houses?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Hey, they left us a key.
But we have to put it in the Dropbox.
Okay, that's good to know. We
Yeah.
can leave the tables and chairs today.
I was gonna say in this time, maybe we can clean up the chairs and someone's coming in, but if we can leave them, then we'll
We
do
get to
that.
leave them today. 8 minutes. Oh.
7 minutes. Well, doesn't Sandy have to be here?
But somebody does.
Somebody thought,
And I don't know, might be on the line there, do I,
I think
if
he's
you're
the
waiting for the,
engineer.
if you're waiting for the 7:40, yeah, we're just waiting for the time so we can open the hearing.
It's just an information.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry,
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
hi,
Info-
hi guys.
Um,
Yeah, this is just Mike Brodsky. I'm an adjoining landowner to Lloyd, and I was just calling in just to. I kind of have a sense for what's going on. I just figured I'd be part of the meeting in case whatever, you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
you missed it.
yeah, we did do Lloyd. Did you come on after it though?
I think I probably did. I guess I did.
yeah.
I just
So-
got home.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was about, have you seen the map?
No, but my sense wasn't it like his lower field? Basically, he's buying the lower field from Mount Cush, essentially.
Yeah, he said it was wooded.
Wooded.
It's the
Yeah, that sounds about right. I was just wondering if it was also the fields that are next to our place too, but I guess that's not what's happening.
So it's like, wonder if I could show you the map somehow.
You get all of those.
It's the upper field that has a really good view that looks the other way toward Lower Road. And he's just getting the wooded part.
Right. That's what I figured. Yeah, I was hoping it was the I don't know, it would be great if it was a field next to our place. Be great to have Lloyd as a direct neighbor. But
Here, maybe I could,
oh yeah, I can see. Yep.
You can?
For a second there I could.
Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Can you see? I can't figure out this out.
It's hard to get it to focus on it.
Here, oh, there we go. Can you see it now?
A little bit. Move it a little bit to your right. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So there's a really thin line that was existing part, and then there's. So this is where it was. Can you see my finger? I can.
Mhm.
This is really not easy. I think the camera's moving around.
It is.
Not me. There's my
Oh, yeah.
finger. Okay, so this is the new line, this is the old line. So this
Oh,
is
yeah,
our
I know that spot. Yep.
property. So
Yep.
he's just, he had this, now he has this part. No,
Got
now
it.
he gets this.
Right, right. Okay. Well, that's all I was just calling in about. I just figured that's what it was, but I figured I might as well just be registered as part of the meeting, but that's all I was calling
Okay.
about.
Thanks.
All right.
for-
Thanks for doing what you guys do. I appreciate it.
Join us.
Good,
We need somebody else. He probably busy, so,
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
all right, have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
36. We didn't get anything from the town committee, did you, in your mailbox, Karen?
No, I don't. I am gonna be meeting with the Goddard College, the people who
Hmm.
are purchasing Goddard College lawyer to talk about potential situations for zoning.
Hmm.
So,
That should be interesting.
well, the interesting thing is now, in order to really make any, we have to have the revote.
Right,
Has that been scheduled? No, what?
Is it May 20th? That the revote is scheduled?
so they're gonna have it's a ballot
Right.
vote, so they're gonna have it here or at the office probably. May, you know,
Probably,
but
yeah.
have we even heard publicly?
I heard something at the,
Let's,
when I was at the town office today.
oh, okay,
about-
so they just,
Right.
20th is a Tuesday.
Yeah, so that, and then after that, if that gets approved, then the next stage, which we were talking about, some of those other adjustments, which is really important because it has a Goddard sort of reuse situation. So those are very important, getting those two passing regulations really makes a big difference on whether or not what kind of things Goddard can do, because it has, if it's not in the village, then there's no commercial.
Mhm.
Right now, Goddard's in rural residential and you can't do commercial.
but you can have an educational
You
community.
could have an education.
Rural residential can't have commercial. Okay, but it can have other things like home occupation.
Yes. But at the same time, since it's one big, it's almost like almost like a PUD, but just a pre-existing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
planned unit
yeah,
development.
but when you really think about it, it's kind of would be a PUD, so there might be,
We could handle it as a PUD.
might be a possibility.
Yeah,
So how is the restaurant handled on there? Is that like, as part of the educational facility? Is that how they? Yeah, okay.
they just,
Yeah,
It's Frank's last name.
Mitchell.
are they still doing that?
I knew that.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Mm.
But you know, on GDR, they advertise the new owners. And they advertise the new owners on GDR and say that they're renting spaces and soon community spaces will be open. So they're, I guess they're renting spaces already or no? For businesses or for homes?
There,
Do you know?
certain, I mean, I have been talking to some people who were signing leases and I'm like,
Yeah, we got 1 minute here. Less than a minute.
Right, well, we don't have anybody here unless
Yeah,
representing
we can start the meeting though, or start the discussion.
discussion.
So, how's it going? Yeah,
well, this is,
There's nobody else who wants to join the meeting, right? That we missed.
I sent,
No.
I did send Sandra the agenda.
Well, and I talked to one of the committee members just the other day, Sunday, and they said that they were meeting and they knew that they needed to present something and they figured Sandy was coming.
Give them 5 minutes. If you show up.
I could text Sandy, I think I have her number.
The door didn't accidentally lock or anything.
Didn't
That's-
hear
We've
anybody.
had that to happen before.
Well, I can take a quick look and see if I was out there.
Yeah, why don't you let your young knees?
Mm.
Ooh, I thought I heard something. Did you hear something?
I put my computer away. I don't know what that was.
That's a sign. I think there's been a kind of a misunderstanding with that. Because the stuff was allowed before when it was Goddard, because we were just like. That it can continue, and it's not grandfathered,
Mhm.
Cause it's a new owner,
and it's not, it's.
not an educational facility anymore. So that's why it's important to have a discussion and to move forward. Cause I mean, they invest in property like
I
that.
mean, I hadn't really, just, I hadn't sat down and really thought about like how how having it be a PUD. I mean, the thing about the PUD is that you end up having to conserve.
Which would be great.
Yes,
Yes, well, everybody has their difference of thoughts and considerations about conservation. But, that could be kind of, depending on how they were feeling. Like, wouldn't it be, I'd love to have Clay Hill be like. Remember, we used to take care of Clay Hill, we could go sliding on it.
yeah.
And I mean, that's where I learned how to ski on the rope tow.
There was a rope tow there.
There was a rope tow. My father absolutely got up every morning on the weekends and went down, and started the diesel engine. So it would get going.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I've never been it that way. I've never like been to Clay Hill. I don't really know.
So
part
on
of
Route
it.
2 or across, we're
Yeah, I
talking
see
about,
people
right?
sledding.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Clay
that's
Hill?
what
They
Okay.
used to, now there are trees in the way.
So,
Right.
so it had a rope tow and we were kids. And if you were a beginner, you were on this side of the rope tow because it was kind of like flat. And then if you were experienced, you would be over here on that little gully. So, and it was quite fun. And, we go down there on the, Saturday, Sunday. A lot of like that's a T-bar, but the one that's on, 25.
Northern slope,
Yeah.
northeast
Yeah.
slopes? Is it called?
But,
Northeast slopes.
so it was a really nice, resource.
Yeah,
And then when God stopped running it, Jack Dowd, I don't know if you might know Jack Dowd, Mary. He used to have Jack's backyard and
Oh.
he took the rope tow to his house on Gore Road. And then I think it ended up being at Richie Rubin's. I think he had a rope tow on those power
Line.
lines that go up that back field.
who made the motion on the DRB, the decision? Did I do that?
I think I did,
Okay,
decided I could, being such a small board. I was trained to, on the solid waste district board, that I spent 15 years as Plainfield's rep on the solid waste district board, ended up being the chair. And I was on the executive committee for like 5 years. And so I learned very formal Robert's Rules of Order of how to run a meeting, because it was 23 towns and it was a
Mhm.
big meeting and, you know, so that kind of, and as a chair, your job is to moderate, not to vote
Mhm.
unless you need to break a tie, you know.
Or
But-
not to monopolize the.
Yes.
the
Conversation,
and all that stuff.
right.
Yeah, because when I was the chair of the new school, Montpelier board, I had to be more. Colored than.
You're allowed to give your opinion, but
Right,
you
but-
don't, it's really
Yeah.
about holding the meeting.
Yes, it's the calling on the people, making sure the motion's made, making sure it's the vote.
Well, I don't know what to do because we got 6 minutes after and I did text Sandra. I could also try to text.
I think we should just.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Well,
Well, I think we've done everything we can and with the need possibly for a May 7th meeting, it's something that we can just call. I can, it says I as the chair can call special
But
meetings.
if it's
So
gonna be anything greater than a.
Right.
Sketch plan. Information needs to
be,
be to me on the 14th. And if we're gonna, if we have to have a sketch plan on the 7th,
14th of April,
yeah, right around the corner.
right?
Yeah.
And then if they.
No, it looks like Christie left.
yeah,
she was-
I wonder if she was hanging around just to hear about it, but.
So then May, what is it, May 14th?
Yes.
So then you go 29, but I gotta count backwards then. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can I make a motion to adjourn?
Yes, you can.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor,
Aye.
aye. There you go, and you can,
I'm gonna stop recording.
right, no decisions needed to be written. No, you have a decision.